Got my day 2 pack. I'm gonna open it right now.
All right, let's see what you get, Trey. What are you hoping to pull?
I'm hoping to pull a Blue Eyes or like anything that just isn't Gaga Magician.
Okay. All right, moment of truth.
What is it?
Oh, we're cooking! We're cooking! Blue Eyes!
Let's go!
Let's go.
What's up, guys? I am here at the 300th YCS in Richmond, Virginia. I made day 2 with a deck that I really hadn't played up until 2 weeks ago when the ban list dropped, because they killed my boy Cupsy here, and I needed to pivot. So I said, you know, I played Draco Tail in Master Duel. Why not try Draco Tail branded out for the YCS? And I am glad I did. I got this awesome Blue Eyes White Dragon prize card for making day 2 here. And I'm just going to show you a deck profile. So without further ado, let's get that started. Pretty basic right now. We got 3 5 mana, got 3 Lucius, 2 Urgula, and 1 Pan, 1 Malulu, 1 Frixel. These are your basic Dracotail names. I think Urgula actually off of Branded Fusion, specifically any of the dragons off of Branded Fusion are insane. Being able to pop back row is crazy, especially non-targeting. It kind of forces your opponent to freak out, and they can misplay, or you just are able to hit some really nice disruptions that can stop you, that might be able to stop you from fusing. Notably, I didn't play the mirror at all this weekend, but I feel like especially Urgula would be really good in the mirror, of course. One thing I think Urgula was insane for was one match I played Sulphur Court Yummy, and I was able to open 5 mana, another monster, and Urgula. They ended up setting scales for the Sulphur Court play. They had IP. I am able to pop their scales, and they aren't able to really do anything other than that. You only need to pop 1, and that was wraps after that. But yeah, Dracotail names, all of them are crazy. I felt like I wasn't doing my combos as optimally as I probably should have. I still need to practice a bit. Master will help teach me a little bit. Hopefully I'll be able to learn a little more as I continue to play this deck in paper. Moving on with the branded package. I am on 3 Fallen of the White Dragon, Blazing Cartesia, Incredible Ecclesia, and then 1 Albion, the Shrouded Dragon. My theory for Dracotail was that since they lost a bunch of names, I need to be able to play as much as humanly possible. If I'm able to do that, I'm most likely going to win, and that was the case most of the time. I highly recommend Albion if you're just looking to be as consistent as humanly possible. This foolishes any branded card or spell out of your deck, so if you're running the Fallen of the Virtuous, you can just dump 1, get a better chance to see Fallen of the White Dragon and get 1 anyways. This makes your deck 38 cards because you're able to Foolish 1, he goes to the bottom, and you're able to draw another card. So highly recommend if you're looking to be as consistent as humanly possible. But yeah, the branded stuff was crazy. I'll go over like my extra deck choices. I don't think they were as good as they maybe should have been. I feel like that was maybe like it was either the extra or the side. It was probably like my weakest point. But anyways, we're gonna go standard fusion stuff. Draco Tail Key2 Rahu, double branded fusion. I did play double Fallen and the Virtuous. Some people are playing 3. I did decide to move 1 to the side. I did think 3 was a little clunky, but I did find myself siding in 3 a lot of the time, both going first and second. This card also is absolutely insane. It single-handedly won me, I think, at least 1 or 2 matches on its own. One notable one was Exosister, so I went Fallen in the hand. He tried to Carmine negate, so notably Carmine has to detach for effect, so you're able to just quick effect pop it. They don't really have any responses for that, and you're able to just have your plays go through that way. I feel like it was better than something like Droplet per se, and maybe even Double Cyclone, because you're just able to pop any face-up card in the field. So I'm definitely looking to try and play 3. And I think with my extra deck choices as well, I will be moving up to 3 here. Branded Fusion, the most you can play. It definitely does conflict with Fallen of the White. So I did see myself cutting down to 1 at times, but going second still, this is just a crazy board breaker. Again, you can just send the Draco Tail Dragons and go into some crazy plays there. And then we have just the basic Draco Tail spells, nothing to see here. It's just, I never really sided out on any of these. All of them are good. You're able to just get a bunch of draws off of them if they're able to resolve. Obviously, the biggest issue with these cards is they can be both ashed and belled, but that's just kind of something you're going to have to deal with when you play this deck. Trying to bait ash, trying to bait bell as much as you can. But yeah, I think these were fine. Flame's insane. I don't really have much about that. For the non-engine, I kind of worked on the fact that I was able to draw cards off of Flame, so I wanted to see more variety in my interruptions. But to start, we had 3 Ash, 3 Fua, 2 Perulia. These are probably just the standard ratios you want to play. Perulia was fine. There were some instances where I did just end up pitching it. One game, my round 9 game actually, I played Tri-Brigade Yummy. I did end up losing that. I just pitched it, they went Obedience School, and I just lost the game because they're not specialing, or they're not normaling specialing from hand. So maybe this is a post side card. I could fit some other hand traps in, but it was fine. Fu is crazy, Ash is crazy in the mirror, and for everything you have to play Ash. It's basically called by going first, and if it isn't called by, it is just a Draco Tail negate. What's up, guys? So we got the other 4 hand traps that I played. I think I might probably would change these. I did 2 Veiler, 1 Bell, 1 Nib. The theory was that you'll have a good chance of drawing these off of your Draco Tail spells. In theory, Veiler Nib sounded fine. I wanted to Veiler Arthalion a lot, but I didn't notably play the mirror at all this weekend. So that never came up. Nib only really ever came up when I was losing anyways, so I might relegate this to the side deck. I found myself siding in the Bell and Droll and all that stuff a lot. I'm gonna go with the extra deck now. I will go to the side real quick afterwards. 3 Arthalion, I didn't trust myself to manage my resources as well as other players, so I decided to go with the full Draco Tail fusion package. Arthalion's crazy. Also, in theory, I was trying to like recycle my hand traps, not once per turn Veiler, stuff like that. That never really came up, but I would highly recommend playing 3 Arthalion. Chalice is crazy. I love this card. You're able to just break boards even more efficiently than you would be able to just with Gulamel. It's also just an extra Draco Tail name you can go into, which is great because sometimes I find myself going into like, obviously if you're locked in the fallen that's gonna happen, but you know, double Arthalion or like Gulamel didn't seem like enough. It's not felt enough going first, but going second, this is definitely an MVP. Highly recommend playing this. I will be playing it again. For the other extra deck cards, I played 2 Secretarion. Didn't play the mirror notably, so the second one never came up. I will probably be cutting it for another extra deck slot. I was just really, I just wanted to make sure I covered all of my bases for the mirror and just all of the things that I knew were really good with the deck. Speaking of which, I played double Albion, the Branded Dragon. This card was crazy today. It helped me kind of just loop my Fallen of the Virtuouses. Very efficiently. You also gave yourself the option to get Branded Fusion on the Crackback, which was insane. Highly recommend playing 2 of these at the very least. Shout out Brandon, he put me on that in the Draco Tail dungeon. The other branded cards we have are Abelenitus. I very frequently found myself playing this card off of Branded Fusion just so I could get a Draco Tail Dragon into the graveyard specifically to help break boards. This also can attack twice, and this can also fuse with a random Albaz on board in the Draco Tail mirror. But again, I didn't play the mirror. Then we have Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. This was fine. It was just like a decent bridge for your Draco Tail plays, but honestly, I could just live with the 2 Albion because you're able to send Frictional with it anyways. Other card that did not get summoned at all today was Mirror Jade. I think it was really bad. Mirror Jade sucked. I didn't make it once today. The only way I could have made it with the package that I had was use Cartesia to then use like an Arthalion and like an Albaz that I had in hand. I don't think I'm gonna play it if I have the 3 Fallen on the white, but if you're playing the 2-1 package, highly recommend making Mirror Jade still. It makes your Ecclesia and everything else much more threatening when you're going second as well. Chaos Star Source, this card's crazy. Really good card. You're able to fuse a dragon and a dark dragon or a light dragon. Typically you're fusing like Malulu and like maybe your Arthalion or something, but it's just like pop 1 or 2. that's always great in like a deck that can grind really well. And then just for the other extra cards, I made SP and Ecclesia. I never made SP today, but Ecclesia was obviously one of the cards you had to play. And it was a great starter for the deck. I don't really have much else to say for that. For the side deck, I did change it up a little bit for siding pattern purposes. I definitely need to look back into the side deck a little more and kind of adjust myself. But hand traps, double droll, need to play it. For just any like rogue and like decks that you're maybe a little less favored against, like Radiant Typhoon for instance. I drove a lot of Radiant Typhoon today, and I went I think 2-1 against my Radiant Typhoon matchup, so that was pretty good. Double Bell again for Radiant Typhoon, just also for the mirror. Again, didn't play it, but in theory it was a great card. I might move this to the main, like most people are, but I wanted more variety in my hand traps, and then the extra Perulia. I didn't think playing the third was obviously great, and I obviously showed that it wasn't that great this weekend. We have the one Fallen and the Virtuous. I found myself signing to this a lot. I will definitely be moving this up to 3. This card is insane, especially with double Albion. A lot of flexibility with your branded plays in that sense. Forbidden Droplet, really good. Double Cyclone, never used and was not that great. Honestly, seems fine that I just have Forbidden Droplet and Fallen as my options for removal. I was just afraid of like floodgates and stuff, but honestly, if the floodgates hit anyways, I was losing the game anyways. So we're gonna have to figure out how to deal with spell trap removal. I think obviously for the mirror it's crazy, but I didn't play the mirror, so there's that as well. For the going first cards, I did have, I guess, 5 for the Charmies. I counted Fallen and Virtuous as the 5th going first card, and then I played Called by, Double, Dragon's Mind, and the Solemn Judgment. Judgment was insane. Dragon's Mind is also insane if you're able to just end on it. If you get like Shifter, you have a play if you have Dragon's Mind in hand and you just make Arthalion. You're able to play through a lot of unfortunate circumstances if you just have one of these counter traps. It stops their entire chain. It's crazy. But yeah, this deck did pretty well. I won a lot of my dice rolls, to be fair, but I still felt like I performed fairly well in grind games specifically. I was afraid that I wouldn't be doing very well in grinds, but I did grind with Radiant Typhoon decks and other decks of the like, and do really well against them, I think. And I'm insanely proud of how I did this weekend. And yeah, shout out to the guys at Greg's Games, looking for games, IHC as well. Appreciate everyone that was here to support me in our group chats and all that stuff. It was awesome. I had an awesome time at 300th YCS in Richmond, Virginia. But yeah, that's all I got.